shot in the butt is what the comics community needed. That is exactly what Yee said right before we went live. Quote from Yeezy Yee. He must be getting a lot of shots in the butt out there lately. So,
it is Houston.
That being said, thank you guys for joining us. 40 live waiting for us for the Hot 10 show, written by the one and only Ben Stein. And this week is a doozy. Richie is not able to join us tonight. He is studying for his exam. He's got coming up a very big exam. So thoughts and prayers for him to pass that exam that he's been studying for. But we called in to the bullpen, and we got Yeezy and Pete joining us. So we got a good show tonight, you guys. Stein, how hard was the list this week?
I was telling everybody this was literally the easiest list that I've had to write in the past year, at least a year.
Nice.
Man, just the last year is just every week is like grinding, like, oh man, I got to find, nope, that's not going to work. Oh, that's not going to work. And this week it was like, oh, yep, that one's up. Yep, that one's up too. That one's up. And just down the list. It was, I'm very happy for the comic community in general, just because we needed this.
Amen. So a lot of people waiting to get into the show, to get into it. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. So why don't we do that? Let's just get into it. Starting with my favorite part of the show, the Almost 10. And this is an interesting one this week, starting off with the artist who most likely is going to win cover of the year again, just because she's that good. I feel like she puts out like 1 out of every 5 covers is a complete banger, and she's getting better and better as we go. The Almost 10 starts off with the Sozomaika DC Power, a celebration #1 for Black History Month. This is the 1 in 50 foil wraparound cover. A couple wraparound covers on the list tonight, and this one starts us off. This one is gorgeous, man. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, and so here's like the caveat. This book on almost any week for the past year would probably have been like number 2, and it didn't even make the list this week. That's how crazy this week was. This is selling for over 100, so over double ratio when it just came out. And yeah, it's not surprising because it's from Sozomaika. I again want to see. I would like to see what the foil looks like in person. Because I question whether or not they look better or not, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I got you. It is gorgeous, man. Absolutely beautiful. She gets better and better every book she puts out. She put out a pinup, and I've brought this up every time we talk about Sozomaika in the last couple of weeks. She put out a Vampirella pinup or a Vampirella sketch the last couple of weeks ago. That was so damn good, man. So good. It needs to be a cover.
She made stickers out of those, right?
Those sketches that she does. Yeah.
The Vampirella.
I don't know if it's the Vampirella one, that same Vampirella one that we're talking about, but it's amazing.
Does Pete, do you know who any of these people are on this cover?
On the well, there I see Vixen,
Amanda Waller.
I think with the buns, I think that's Bumblebee. Amanda
It's hard
Waller,
to tell
on the
because
back,
they're like
the Green Lantern. I can't remember her name.
like
The new Green Lantern one. Who are the other two?
Amanda Waller,
Nubia, probably in the back, tall.
Yeah.
I don't know who the short silver hair is though.
Yeah, I don't know who that is either.
Is DC doing some sort of gala right now?
Oh wait, is that the
Green Lantern one's the
Silencer?
one on the far left,
or Silence? Whatever that when they had the new heroes. It might be
so
her.
from the left to right, we've got the Green Lantern, Amanda Waller, We Don't Know, and who'd you say the one with the Mickey Mouse type buns?
I think that's Bumblebee.
Then Nubia and Vixen. We just don't know the one with the silver hair.
I think it might be that Silencer. She does have that like light hair.
Yeah. Stein, you're terrible,
Yes,
brother.
that I think you are right though, Pete. That makes sense.
Because it is a decent title that they did. They just haven't really done it in a while.
I want to know if the whole cover is foil or if it's like just the background. You know what I mean?
I think all of them have been just all foil.
Okay.
At least lately.
Natasha Irons. Huh. Yeah, Nubia looks amazing. Holy cow, is that unreal? She's about 3 feet higher than everybody else.
One thing I can appreciate that Souza Mike is doing is like she's playing around with the layout of the characters, right? Like she's not just doing like a cookie cutter cover where it's like kind of like, oh, I'm going to change up the background a little. Like it's still in the same perspective. Like, it's my cover. Like she's actually trying different things, which is great to see an artist doing.
Yeah. She's so good at doing, and I think it's her background, like the fashion drawing type stuff, and you can really see that in her work with their poses, and you could tell she's a designer at heart. So really, really cool. Really cool. All right. Next on the list this week, an interesting one that's going to take us down a rabbit hole. The Colonel's Adventure Comics by KFC. Very interesting. KFC, the Colonel's Adventures Comics, #1 from San Diego Comic-Con. The one that started off the run for the set. And this is probably the worst one of them all. But
it has to. Who are the ghosts behind it? Like in the background?
It's got to be him when he was younger, I imagine.
Do you guys now look at the his bow tie differently now that people said that that's the shape of him in like a stick figure? Like
I do now.
Thanks for that.
It reminds me of Mr. Show with Bob and Dave with Titanica.
Yeah, so like every time you see the emblem with just his head and then his bow tie, it looks like him going, like this with his little legs and his big old head. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is selling for $80.
Wow.
I don't know why. I don't know why you would pay $80 for this, but
yeah. Well, it's interesting.
Was this like a free book at San Diego Comic-Con?
I think so.
Wow. Well, it started off with this book, and then they jumped in with this book, which is really cool. The Colonel Cores, with all the different types of colonels throughout the multiverses. This is the second issue that they did the next year. And then the one that I own, because I buy all of these homages back in the day, is the Green Lantern 76 homage that they did. And finally, the latest one is this one from New York Comic Con. They did the Colonel of Two Worlds. So there is 4 of them that I know of. Be on the lookout for them. They're cool books. They're just cool comic fan collector books. But if you're like me and you search out these type of covers, I know this is kind of a takeoff on the Maguire, Justice League book. These are all homage covers right here. This one's the only one that's not. I don't think that's an homage to anything that I can think of.
Might be the OG Ghost Rider.
Could be.
Give me that kind of vibe, but I don't know for certain.
Yeah. Chat, let us know if that's an homage to anything. But I don't think the Colonel is doing a signing anytime soon, Zombie Prophet.
Well, he is Zombie Prophet. So
yeah.
In his zombie form.
Yeah, maybe he can get him to do it.
No blood signatures from the Colonel?
Yeah. So
it's
I like
Colonel
these,
in.
Anyways, good stuff. $80 for this one. I don't know what these run for. I don't know how.
I think that Green Lantern one sells for a pretty good amount too, doesn't it?
Yeah, this one it took me a while to get it. I think I paid $80 for it alone back in the day. So, but yeah, good stuff. All right, on to the next book on the almost 10 list. It's becoming a new thing here to have the furries on the list.
Is that the variant or is that the regular one?
This is the Hit the Beach 94. Is there another one that I'm supposed to be looking for?
There's 2. Well, there's this. I think this might be the variant. please don't ask how I even know that there's a variant, because I really just stop.
It's okay.
I don't
No
know
judgment.
what's going on. I don't know why furry covers are selling. I really don't.
This is the
I don't even
variant.
understand.
This is the variant.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
variant.
so it's the regular cover is the one that I had.
All right,
On.
here's the regular. So, oh my god, dude.
I know
it cracks me up, dude. It really does. Here's the regular for.
Oh, it's a wraparound too.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I'm so confused.
Well, they're
this crap
making
is-
these covers now. Like, didn't they just have one for the
But
Blade's
that was
daughter?
good. It
didn't
was
make
so
sense.
good. But it wasn't a furry. It was more anthropomorphic than a furry. And it was the cover of the week. in my opinion. Yeah. It says here for Hit the Beach, first interior art by Terry Moore for Hit the Beach #1, which is awesome. So we got to add that to the list, you guys. We're going to add that to the list during the show.
I would not have known that.
Yeah.
I wonder if he even claims that.
Yeah. So, well, you know what that means. While you talk about it, that means that we add it to the Beyond Wednesdays creator first list. So tell them about Hit the Beach. What did that sell for?
It sold for $60. Number 2 sold for $60 this week.
Wow.
Oh, and I was going to say, Brian, and this is just my suggestion. First of all, your list is awesome, but 2, I don't know if I would share that to where anybody can edit it.
No, they don't. They have to put a comment in, and then I have to approve it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Because I was like, there's going to be some moron out there that will be like, "Ooh, cool! I'm going to be funny, and I'm going to delete the whole thing."
Well, you can restore the list from.
Oh, that's Tradmore. What am I doing? That's Tradmore.
Oh yeah, you don't want to do that.
Tradmore. Yeah. All right, let's change that. Let's go.
Come on, does anybody own any of these any furry book at all?
If you own Turtles books, you do.
I was gonna say Turtles. Does that count?
I don't think that counts as a furry. They don't, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
I guess they have to have fur, right?
I would think so, but I don't. I don't know the rules of the furrydom.
So the first one is Hit the Beach #1 from July of 1993. Now, is that his
one of these random Antarctic Press books in their box somewhere?
Yeah,
Gold Diggers cover or something odd that they just some stack.
Have you guys ever seen a first #1 of that stupid Gold Digger? Like, that book just doesn't even exist. Like, it's like a myth.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if this is his first work or if it's his first, because it says first interior art. So I don't know if that's his first work or his first.
Just first interior work.
Yeah, I would the way that it's just in case.
Yeah. So that's it right there, man. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. So, but this is the one that you saw today, and how much did it sell for again, Stein?
$60.
Wow. It's because they're so damn rare, and there's some crazy furry fans out there. And be on the lookout for the variant to that, which is that one right there. Oh boy, Antarctic Press. They are very interesting. And
is it like a thing where you start collecting ponies and then you get into furry books? Is that how it works?
It's a slippery slope. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. So it is. Well, how many people out there are admitting that they're furry fans?
Well, because isn't that the whole thing, like, to be anonymous, like, kind of thing, right? Because you're always wearing a mask or whatever.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. All right. Let me, for those of you guys that want to check out the Beyond Wednesdays creator first list, there is a link in the description to it. So go check it out. And if it's something that you can add to the list, do it. There's a place to comment, and anybody that comments and it's something that can be added, I will add it. So there you go. Check it out.
Oh my gosh, these These chat comments are killing me.
Yeah.
It's just like there's like never ending jokes.
It's because you had the best chat in the YouTube community.
Well, this one's probably a bit more than $60, I imagine. So be on the lookout for it. All right. Next on the almost 10 list, a badass Looney Tunes book. This one specifically, Looney Tunes number 80, the newsstand edition.
Yeah, I don't know if this is. I mean, we probably have to ask Topher if this is Lola's first cover. But I don't know if it is, or
she's in.
Probably not.
I think she's like in the previous issue, like but part of this run. I don't remember what issue though.
Okay. Yeah. So this newsstand, a CGC 9.6, sold for $250, and yeah, this is kind of like a furry again. Except
I was going to say this doesn't seem much different.
Oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? Stop putting these books on there. Tell me.
So welcome to the DC furry list, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, $250 for a CGC 9.6 is kind of crazy, right?
Well, yeah, but it's still a kid's book, and they're tough to keep in high grade.
Do you stand out as well? Like,
yeah, I will say, yeah, I will say that over the past just couple months, the number of, and I think I said this a couple weeks ago, the number of newsstand sales is way more than it used to be. Like, I haven't seen as much like Canadian price variance and stuff like that, but man, these newsstands are they are gaining ground a lot.
Well, a title like this, I think, probably has more newsstands than direct, because you're getting this at more Barnes and Nobles and bookstores where it's just out on like a weekly bait or whatever, however often they publish back then. Then a comic shop's not going to order a whole bunch of Looney Tunes, but the bookstores probably had them.
You wouldn't think.
Or maybe like grocery stores or 7-Elevens, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this I think came after. This seems like a later run, so I don't even know if they were still doing the 7-Elevens at that point. But I guess it's possible. Still gonna get beat up.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much would you say this sold for in a 9.6?
$250.
Wow, not bad. Not bad. All right, next book on the list. A beautiful Gen 13 book. Always love the Gen 13 stuff. Speaking of newsstands, love collecting Gen 13 newsstands. And this one's a cool cover right here. Gen 13 Fairchild, right, is just one of those classic 90s characters, classic 90 books. Gen 13 number 4, the German edition, right here.
I've not seen this cover on any American version that I'm aware of. Well, it is a Campbell cover, so
yeah. This something very interesting about this. The art for it is right here, and it's pretty nice. This is the original proof image that they signed by Campbell at his Big Wow in 2013. But yeah, the color proof is available. Is it available? Let's see here. Not for sale. Not for sale. So this is the color printer proof to one of my absolute favorite Fairchild images by Campbell from issue number 4 of the regular series. This image was also the last 2 pages of the story. This image and the cover to number 5 are both Fairchild Gone Native. I love number 5. I have number 5 too. But I don't remember this being in the American series, right?
I don't know. Gosh, it's been 25 years since I've looked at the inside of.
Yeah, they said it's in the inside. It seems like they're saying it's interior art, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, interesting.
Either way, apparently the only way you can get this as a cover is to get this German version, which is kind of cool. What would I say this sold for, Brian? VF copy sold for $30. So I don't know how hard it is to get anything high grade for this. I would actually probably like this one. I got a lot of Gen 13 books still.
Yeah, I love Gen 13. I love collecting really high grade Gen 13 books. They're tough. All right. Next on the list. Now, I'm not sure if I got the right one because Stein had it as 315, but I don't think there's a 315.
I meant 310.
Okay. All right.
I meant 310.
So the classic Stephen Platt Wolverine cover. Oh, man. What a just amazing cover. And of course, everybody also knows the sketch variant that is just as good of this one. There's some good variants for this issue. And even the regular cover is great. So really, really good.
Yeah, I've found tons of variants over my hunting life. I've never found this one. I've found some other Wolverines in that, in those 300s, and there's some really good ones. But I've never found the Platt on this one. But
yeah, this one's pretty amazing. Not only does it have that one, it has the sketch, which is just as gorgeous, if not more gorgeous. I hate when they do that. Put a really tiny picture on there. But like I was talking, the McGinnis Sabretooth one isn't too bad either. I like that one.
Yeah, that's
the homage to the X-Men. Yeah.
Well, I guess
badass.
I guess with like the Hugh Jackman announcement stuff, like people are probably digging out a lot of their Wolverine variants and stuff like that, where it's like kind of like, oh, I remember this cover.
Here's the main cover, and there's a second print to this where Wolverine's, instead of yellow, it's in blue. That's a great cover too.
Where's Mel so he can say the name?
I know. By the way, I can't stand Bianchi black and white covers. I don't know why. I just don't like black and white Bianchi, even though I'm just not a fan. But man, when they color it really nice, his stuff is amazing. So
agreed.
Really, really good stuff. Be on the lookout for those. If Stein can't find them, I don't know how easy they're going to be to find.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, if you look at so these were what, 1 in 100, and then the sketch was 1 in 200 or something like that.
Yeah,
there's some. If you look at some of these other variants around those, around that in the 300s, there are some really good variants that I think a lot of people go to this one just because it's Platt, but there some of these other ones I think are way overlooked that are just as hard to find. But this one kind of gets all the headlines on it, but. It's a 9/8 sold for $2,000 this week, so it's not. Yeah, so somebody bought it like a couple months ago for like 1,100, so that I guess they are way ahead of the game.
Yeah, I wonder what a sketch cover goes for. Yeah, man, that just looks so badass, dude, with the skull, with the fangs, and then the how it has the claws through it, and it goes through the nose part right here. Oh man, dude, that's badass. It's really good. Too bad Platt doesn't do more books, because as he got older, his art got better. I'm not a big fan of his early art. I don't know why people are. I think his early art is garbage. It's like muscles have muscles on early Stephen Platt.
That was the time, though. Everybody was doing it.
Oh god, it's rough. But all right, next on the list, a photo cover variant, and a tough one at that. This is one of those books that is just a ghost. Uncanny Avengers number 14, the Quake photo variant.
I got this one.
Tough book.
Nice.
Oh, good.
$5.
Yeah. So they're selling for like 30 now. So I don't know if you guys saw. And I don't know if anybody really paid that much attention or even cares, to be quite honest. Somebody made somebody tweeted something to Chloe Bennett, who plays this actress or something, or plays this character, and said something like, I don't even know what they said about, you're never going to be anything, and your stuff is out of canon, you're never going to be anything, or something like that. And all she did was reply and say, in a couple months, that tweet will not age well.
Yeah,
wow.
there was
Yeah,
rumors for a long time, that she was coming back months ago.
Yeah, this was like maybe like just a couple weeks ago. So
yeah, this was
very,
recent.
very recent. Yeah. So I mean, that sounds pretty much like she is saying that she is going to, and I hope they do. I mean, I hope they, because I thought her character was great.
I
Yeah, she was a
agree.
bright spot of that show.
Oh, I guess
Yeah, for sure.
for Quantum, right?
It's possible.
Yeah, like with multiverse stuff.
Yeah, actually, I mean, I liked the Shield show. I liked pretty much
Ghost
every
Rider
character
was
that
great.
was. I mean, I liked Fitz. I liked them
The
all.
Inhuman stuff was like the arc when they got into the
It-
went a
it-
little long, but
Yeah, it got a little weird toward the end, but I still like the characters, and but I would be shocked if they did not utilize her. So
yeah.
Look, you put the call out for the bullpen, and they just start coming in. We got Ryan from Rhinoverse joining us from Simple
What's
Man's
shaking
Comic.
with the bacon? What's the hizzle and the fizzle? What's the haps and the craps?
I didn't even know that you put out a message. That's how much I paid attention.
He did.
Yeah, man.
Well, I utilized the whole Discord thing and everything, and I feel pretty cool because I utilized it. Well, the Discord. No, I guess it wasn't
Google
Discord.
Chat.
You got me on the Google thing, but we'll say it was Discord because hey, they need some love over there.
Yeah.
Amen.
Well, it's because we ran
Amen.
into each other randomly in Houston. Like I was at a car shop, and then I look up. I was like, I know that voice. I was like, what's up, Ryan? And he's like, oh, what are you doing here? I'm like,
I was like, did someone say my name?
So, all right. How much did this one go for, Ben? How much did you say?
30.
Nice. Not
You
bad.
could probably if you find this, it's probably not going to be, because most of those Shield covers were just forgotten about.
Yeah, they're all
Yeah.
left behind.
yeah.
You know what's crazy? Real quick, I'm trying to find us on YouTube, and I'm having trouble. That's weird.
Oh, because it's on House of Stein. It's not on Beyond Wednesdays.
Giddy up.
All right, next on the almost 10 list. This is badass, man. Blood Syndicate. You got to love the Milestone universe. Love that they're getting all they should be getting their due right now. It should have been much sooner. But we got it here today. Blood Syndicate number 35, the final issue in the run.
Nice.
Yeah, this is like a double issue too, so it's thick. Not as thick as that Amanda Waller on that other cover, but it is thick. And let's see here, a VF copy sold for 40, so I would think a near mint copy now would be, I don't know, probably 50 plus.
Yes,
for
final
near
issues.
mint.
Final issues, especially these books. Dig 'em out.
Yeah. I
I
never
love
read
it.
any Blood. I didn't read any Blood Syndicate at all. Was that even a good story?
I didn't read it either.
I remember reading like the first couple issues when everything was new, but no, I didn't hang around for 35 issues. I'll be honest.
So probably
Well,
a low print count too, though.
That's why, yeah, all the end of them, the last statics, the last hardwares, even.
No.
I grab them all if you can find them.
Well,
That's-
Blood Syndicate. Let's take a look and see what we got going on for that. Let's see here.
As you're doing it, I'd love to know what y'all's in your own collection, what your best final issue is.
Great question.
Best.
Blood Syndicate is a fictional, multicultural vigilante gang of superhumans created by Milestone Comics, published by DC Comics. First appeared in Blood Syndicate number 1, was created by Dwayne McDuffie, Ivan Velez Jr., and Dennis Cowan. It's the fictional city of Dakota, and Blood Syndicate is a loose affiliation of superpowered individuals brought together by circumstance. 35 issues of their eponymous comic book, written by Velez Jr., were published between 93 and 96. There you go. They're not a team, they're a gang, and that's in Velez's own words. In fact, they were the surviving remnants of multiple street gangs, thus the name, a combination of Paris Island Bloods and Force Syndicate, who had gained superpowers in the so-called Big Bang and decided to use them for greater purpose, which is pretty interesting, man. That's very interesting. Maybe this is something that we need to take a little jaunt down memory lane on and read it.
I'm still trying to figure out what my best last issue is. Right?
I know.
I'm like,
I know. It's like kind of like, what is
the best? I'm thinking in my head. I'm like,
Well, hold on.
Silver Surfer
When you say
146, Star Wars 147.
yeah, when you say best, you mean like best cover? Or
Yeah,
most
107.
expensive?
Cover or what you would consider like your cover or hardest to find, because usually the last issue is one of the hard ones to find because they have a low print run, especially if it's like
for all
like this.
What Deathstroke 60, right? And what Lobo 64, I think is also a good one for DC. There's a bunch.
G.I. Joe 155 is my favorite.
Yeah, G.I. Joe 155, Transformers, what is it, 80?
86?
I think there's so many. I love looking for last issue.
Mine's going to be Kid and Play.
Yeah. By the way, shout out to Black Karmic Lords. I saw Miko, I think, tonight on Nearing Nerdvana. So she did a great job, and they all did a great job over there. It was nice. They did a little tune in on the milestone stuff and static. So that was good stuff.
Kid and Play number 9 was the last issue.
That's a good one.
Oh yeah,
that's a good one too. Yeah,
it has an actual Venom appearance in it. That's why I own it.
Yeah, interesting. All right, how much did this sell for again, Stein?
VF copy sold for $40.
Nice. All right, this next one, you guys, is one of those ones that without a clear backing board, it's going to be tough to find it unless you pull it out of the bag and board. And that is Spawn Batman, the newsstand edition, which you can only tell by the back cover. So
nice.
Very, very tough to come by, and hardly anybody ever looks. But now with the recent CGC rush for McFarlane's autograph, there's a bunch of those out there right now.
Yeah. So a CGC. Okay. First of all, this is like a $10, $15, $20 book at the most.
Yeah.
A CGC 9.8 newsstand sold for $1,600.
Wow.
Damn.
It's got a bump recently because of the new one, but yeah, still a lot of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's the print run on that?
A lot.
Not many. Probably not many for the newsstand though.
Yeah, it's probably comparable numbers.
It was because I bet there's tons, because I mean, you think back to that time. I mean, this was like a major event, and newsstands were still going strong then. I bet there's a ton of newsstands out there too.
They're probably
now, high grade. That's a different story, but I bet there's a ton of newsstands.
Yeah. I remember I hated newsstands back then. I think the first issue of Spawn I bought was off a rack and it was a newsstand. I was like, damn it, I want this barcode. I got to get a real one.
Right.
And now you're digging through all your boxes. You're like, where's my Spawn 1 newsstand? But I mean, would you compare the numbers like that, like a Spawn 1 newsstand to the Batman Spawn newsstand?
I mean, it's probably not as high, but it's probably I would think that there might be more, just because Batman was more popular.
Yeah.
I mean, you think of the print runs when this came out. This was what, 94, 90, something like that, 94. I mean, think of the print runs for Batman issues back then.
Yeah, this was Nightfall.
Wasn't this Prestige? Was this Prestige format?
Yes,
too?
It's a square bound.
Would like this.
Yeah, I think this was like $5-6 cover price, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure every new comic book collector has that same thought. I don't want the one with all the barcodes.
Yeah,
I want the one with a cool picture on it.
Yeah, it's interesting. Very interesting. All right. Next on the list, classic Green Lantern book. And one that probably, if the week, it's a crazy week, and this probably should have been, like you said, Stein, at the beginning, they almost 10. A lot of these should have been on the regular list. But man, Green Lantern 87, first John Stewart Green Lantern, is a major key right now.
Yeah, so before we even get into the hot 10 or anything like that, obviously, this was, one of the, we've been waiting for that Green Lantern show forever. And then now we find out it's not going to be the Green Lantern show. It's going to be like True Detective Green Lantern, which it sounds kind of interesting.
awesome.
I mean, I love True Detective as a show. So to try and add that to, basically have Hal and Jon Stewart trying to solve crime, or solve mysteries or something, is kind of cool. So just pretty much like everything else that spewed out of James Gunn in that 4-minute video, this was right there, and so everybody's back excited with Jon Stewart again. All graded copies were basically in all, pretty much all grades. We're up about 20 to 20. I didn't put any specific prices, but about 20 to 25% up since Wednesday or whenever that Tuesday, whenever his video came out.
Tuesday.
So good.
Which season of True Detective? That's a good. That's a good. Hopefully it's not the.
Second one was the worst.
Yeah. What's his name? Vince Vaughn year.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not that season. But
the first one was the best.
I'll never forget the first one, because when that came out, I was in New Orleans.
Katrina
working, and when that came out, and I just kept thinking, oh my gosh, I gotta go find these bayous, man. I gotta find this friggin' whatever that I can't even remember the name of the. What was the name of the
guy?
The myth thing that they kept talking about in that show.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That was such a creepy show that took a turn that you never thought it was going to take, and I still think it could have been better if they would have went really creepy with it.
Yeah.
So.
But at the same time, don't read too much into their comparisons, because it's not a surprise that they're comparing everything to HBO and Warner Brothers properties like Game of Thrones and True Detective, because, well, it's all the same place.
That is true.
So it's just shorthand. It's just shorthand for them to say, hey, we're doing a cop show.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right. Next. How much did you say this is selling for again?
They're all graded copies are all up, regardless of grade. We're up about 20 to 25%.
Not bad. Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Tough book to find. All right. Next on the list, an amazing Vampirella book. Vampirella is on the tip of the tongue for a lot of us right now. For some reason, man, people are just falling in love with her all over again, and all the great covers and all the, great variants that are out there. And this is one of them right here. The Tim version, Bruce Timm Vampirella. This is amazing. Love this cover. One of the best. Vampirella Monthly number 20.
This one's always been really hard to find. And then he did a second Vampirella that's totally different than this. Like, it doesn't even look the same at all. I
love the background in this one.
The background is really well done.
Mm-hmm.
So this one sold this week, and I couldn't tell if it was an all-time high, but it might be. For a raw copy was $275, which is pretty high. Yeah. Hey, Andy, there is definitely, I can see furry characters in the background on this. Like, I definitely know it's I
think it's the Bruce Timm factor. I think like Bruce Timm, Dan Parent, they're people are gravitating towards that kind of art style these days, and they're going for some of these harder to find covers.
Yeah,
next
and this
on
is
the
definitely
list,
hard to find.
Another Vampirella book, a really tough one. One of the toughest. Another Platt book on the list too. This is Vampy number 12, the Holochrome.
I was gonna say, is this a shiny one?
Yeah, I was that same too. Like where the trade is just the hollow part, right, or foil part.
Yeah, I don't remember how long ago I mentioned this book, but I basically kind of said this one's really hard to find. If you try and find this, blah blah blah. It was a while ago. This sold for $300 this week. So you start to look at some of these Vampirella from either Vampy or Vampirella from 10, 15, 20 years ago. Some of these, I mean, are just brutally hard to find, and just crazy. But this one is really hard to find. There's a non holochrome version of this that doesn't sell for near as much as the holochrome.
This might be my favorite Platt cover of all time.
I was gonna say, that's 2 splats on the list.
This almost looks like David Finch to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. That's why it's probably my favorite one. And I love the swords with the holes in it and the little rings around the. That's so badass. It's so dope. So, and I love those swords. What are those called? With like how they have the bars and they kind of like. Anyways, those are dope.
Badass.
All right. Yeah. Next on the list, a classic, the OG variant that started it all, in a lot of ours opinion. Losh 23.
That is the hottest
we call it. Yeah. Adam Hughes, Supergirl and the Legion of Superheroes 23 1 in 10 variant.
Yeah, this is. I mean, it's weird. This one's really never come way down in price. You know, when a lot of the books and stuff fell in price, this one did fall. I mean, there was like a CBCS 9.8 that sold for just like maybe $800, like a month ago. Which now looking back, I probably wish I would have bought that at that price, because that's probably as low as it's ever going to go. But a raw copy of this sold for $731 this week, which is really high for a raw copy.
A 9.8 went for about that a couple weeks ago. I had it on my market report.
Yeah. So now all the 9.8s that are listed for like $1,600.
Yep. I was giving Trey shit about it because I do my market reports on Wednesday night on the Radar, and you know, this is Trey's book. I mean, when I see this book, yeah. When I see this book, that's what I think of. I think of Trey and CBSI. This is what started it all. For those of you guys that don't know, this book, Trey searching for this book, is what caused him to create the famed CBSI G+ boards, which started in my opinion, the second speculation boom. So I love this book, and I don't own one. I've never been able to. I found one once. I was at Jesse James Comics. He got this huge collection in, and I got there too late. And I was going through a short box, and it was like every book was like the major keys or the major variants. And I'm going through it, and I'm like, oh my god! And I'm just going and grabbing, and some guy walks over and goes, "That's my my box that I've been putting stuff in." And I go,
oh man,
wow.
So, yeah. So, and I go, dude, you've got every major book in here. Like, could I just at least get the Supergirl? He's like, no.
No. Same thing you would say.
I would have been nice about it, dude. If I had a short box, I mean, this collection was like every major key from like 2000 to like 2010. Every major variant, every major key was in there. You name it. And I was like, oh, it was crazy. And I was like, I just want this one book. This is like the grail that I've never been able to achieve.
I found one for $1.
You ain't lying,
oh
Paul.
My God.
And I sold it the same day for $305. And I was like, at the time, that was the market. And I was like, hey, Christmas time. I bought a book for $1. I got some Christmas money. I'm going to go buy some presents. Then I regretted it because I couldn't find another one. I figured I'll find another one. Years to find another one. And I end up paying around $300 for the one I did get to get it back. And that was when the market was down. That one was around 500 rawish. It was lingering there for a while. So getting it again back at $3, I'm like, all right, I just undid my selling mistake, is what I thought to myself. So that's what I have.
This might be one of the rarest 1 in 10 variants ever made.
You know what I mean? Like, people just don't want to part with it. I think that's also
that's the best looking Supergirl's ever looked. I mean, that's freaking good. Can you make a full screen of that? That's freaking good.
No, that is full screen on this show, brother.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, this is actually an homage to a Mary Marvel cover from forever ago. So
like 10 or something. I remember John Z talking about it. I was like, he's right. That is that.
Yep.
I love the coloring on it.
Do you think more raw copies are selling right now because people are getting ready for the Hughes signing?
I will say anybody who gets this book signed is
an idiot.
Don't get this book signed.
Get this signed.
Right.
1,000 other Hughes books to get signed. Don't do this one.
And I love how the Adam Hughes signature on it in the background is it's small. It's out of the way. It looks like a spark.
Yeah, it's unobtrusive. It's blended in. Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah, as Chloe's comic swag says, leave it be. And he is one of the people to take the advice from, because his collection is absolutely gorgeous. And if you don't believe me, go follow him on IG.
That would be a cool poster to have for sure.
I have one. I have the limited edition print that Adam Hughes made for San Diego Comic-Con that year. He made it this came out either a week after or 2 weeks after the famed Catwoman 51, and those are what got me back into comics. So
that's what you would get signed is the print. That would be cool to get signed.
yeah.
This is the only one I have the foreign run of. Like Robert Fordham got me into looking at the foreign runs. There's only 4, I think, different ones. The U.S. and there's like a Mexico, Spanish, and Italian, I think. And that's it. So it was easy to complete. This is the only one I got complete.
Pretty cool. All right. That is the Almost 10, you guys, brought to you by Beyond Wednesdays. Come hang out with us tomorrow night for Modern Comic Mayhem. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I think I finally got the audio issues fixed, so make sure if you don't have Discord to download the Discord app and download it on your PCs, because that is how we will be moving going forward over there. It's going to be a lot of fun, and thank you to everybody who signed up for the membership. Let's get into the Golden Age honorable mention this week, which is absolutely gorgeous. The Saint, number 4, a 10-center. That is amazing.
Yeah, I can't imagine having a high grade with this black cover from the 40s. That's just, it seems like absolutely impossible.
I love how it has the Saints little logo right there too. The little stick man with the halo.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for anybody, you know what, I know I sometimes get some hate for this. This is a Matt Baker cover. So just suck it up. There's nothing I can do. Everybody loves Matt Baker. Everybody loves LB Cole. Everybody loves Zetta. It's just the way it is. All their books sell, and they sell for high. What was it? A CGC 4.5 of this sold for $2K this week, which was more than the only other copy that's ever sold for higher was a 9.6 Promise collection, which I don't know how on earth you can get a 9.6 in this book. It doesn't even make sense.
Time travel.
Yeah, time travel. That's the only way it makes sense.
Shout out to the one and only Mrs. Horsecock Express for the super sticker, the $4.99 super sticker. And I like to pull it up here because on StreamYard, it doesn't allow me to show the sticker, but here it allows me to show the sticker. So appreciate you as always.
For saying Horsecock.
Maybe it was Val Kilmer's research copy from when he made the movie in the 90s.
I love that movie, dude. That movie was excellent. The show was excellent. Actually. Yeah, the original show was excellent. The movie was awesome. That was when Val Kilmer was at his peak. Mm-hmm. I'm a huge Val Kilmer fan, and that was a good freaking movie. So great cover here. If I had a nice chunk of change that I could spend on comics, I would definitely be picking up these old school Moon covers because they look so damn good.
Yeah.
All right. How much did you say again it sold for?
A CGC 4.5 sold for $2K.
Wow. All right. Next, the honorable mention spot. Of course, you guys. This is going to show up on the list tonight. I'm not going to call it the real first appearance because we all know what a cameo is a real first appearance. But the first full appearance, which is a second appearance of Damian, Batman number 656. What a great, amazing run. You guys all know I love Grant Morrison, and Damian is probably my favorite character of the last, 10, 15 years or whatever.
James Gunn loves him too.
Yeah, so it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, what's funny is when you say first full appearance, I'm not sure his appearance in this is that much better than the one in 655. I mean, they're both
short,
kind of both kind of weak in general.
657 at least has him on the cover, right?
I can't remember.
The third one, the third, and I think that's where we get a little bit more.
And I will say that if you remember when Damian stuff started doing well, everybody was going after this book until they realized that 655 had the variant, and then once everybody was going after the variant for 655, then the regular 655 picked up steam. So, but saying that, this book, I mean, you could have picked this book up for really good prices. This week, after the James Gunn announcement, CGC 9.8s are 300 to 400 now. 9.6s are 150. So
Wow.
yeah, like blew up, just completely blew up. But I think that's too much.
This was a popular time for Batman. Batman was
Yeah.
not low printed at this time. This was a well respected run. It was Morrison. People were buying it and reading it.
Yeah. And I will say, so if you don't like DC, sorry, it's going to be a lot of DC. But I will say that I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily recommend buying any of these because when you start listening to his timeline, I mean, he said, the Brave and the Bold is going to be 2025.
Yeah, it's going to take forever. It might never happen. You to be honest, it might never happen. Let's be real.
Yeah. I mean, it could be. I mean, I would tend to think that it will happen, but still, I mean, you're talking 2 years down the road, and we know how comic people's attention span only lasts like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well,
You know,
I mean, if you have those books already in your collection, this might be a time to move them. Like get the extra bread, whatever, and then you can buy it a year from now, and it'll probably like back to like prices of what they used to be, even 6 months from now.
yes, yeah, this would be a good time to sell, and then buy them back later.
Yeah, well, it's the final page that has the Damien spot where he calls him father, right? As a matter of fact, here we go. Let's do this. All right, let's go. Boom, and there we go. So, the final page. That's a cool image right there.
Mm-hmm.
Damien looks a little fucked up though. He looks a little weird.
Parents have a hard time with kids.
Yeah, they do. Because that
then
looks
look at
like
the size
that
of the
looks like a
arms.
human. That looks like an adult.
Yeah, they just
head
it's
on
just a man shorter.
Yeah, yeah.
Rock arms.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. So, but there you go.
I'm sick.
That's it. So, that is the honorable mention this week. Great series, great run, and I love it because this is one of the characters that we've all been yelling in the aisles saying, pick these up because they are cheap, and as soon as he hits, it will go crazy, and a lot of people out there love him, and now it's finally hitting, and I don't know about you guys, but I've been stashing Damien stuff for a long time now, so I love it. All right, now let's get into the top 10, starting off with Legends #1, the Amanda Waller book.
Yeah, so we thought there was a million Batmans or Spawn Batmans. There's probably 2 million of this, right? I mean, so yeah, there are so many. I mean, back in the 80s when they did event books, I mean, they were like massively printed, massively. Yeah, so Brian's bringing up pictures. I would say if you're like super into Amanda Waller, go for the newsstand, go for the Canadian price variant, but make sure that you go 9.8 because 9.6s of this are going to be. I have a feeling now that 9.8s are now selling for 175 of this, which is crazy for this book. There are going to be a ton of them submitted, and the census is going to go crazy because there are tons of copies. There are tons of warehouse finds of this where people have like 50 of these things sitting there and all high grade. So,
like the warehouse guy from eBay. No, joking.
Yeah. I honestly, if I'm buying Amanda Waller, I'd actually probably prefer that Suicide Squad Amanda Waller #1 because that's her only. I think that's her only title that she has her own title, and it's just one single issue.
Oh, the one,
But,
yeah.
The red, it's like all red cover or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you're buying, I mean, I would tend to think that would be better than this book, but
yeah. Well, doesn't this have an insert in it also? some of them have inserts, some type of insert in it. Why am I thinking of that? I feel like
Like
there was an
rulers
insert
or-
in this. So maybe not. Maybe not. All right. All right. On to number 9. Stormwatch number 37.
So this is the first appearance of Jenny Sparks and Jack Hawksmoor, who are in the Authority.
And Rose Tattoo.
Yeah.
Right on.
This is selling for $50 to $60.
Get out of here.
I'm telling you,
This isn't an
it-
easy book to
this
find.
week-
If I remember correctly, this is not a
it's
crazy...
not. It's not. Yeah, I mean, it's 3 years into the Stormwatch run, but man, it's. I mean, we were talking about this before the show. That, I mean, it's just bizarre. Like, I did not expect these books to just do this.
No.
Not like this.
I think it's because it's DC, bro. We've all the speculators have been waiting for DC to catch some heat, and it's not like DC just kind of got warm. They started off with an explosion, man. This is like they dropped a nuclear bomb on speculation, dude, because it would be one thing if he came out and they said, "Oh, I'm going to do an Authority movie." No, he said, "I'm going to do an Authority movie. I'm going to do Swamp Thing. I'm going to do this. I'm going to like 10 movies that we all are stoked about." I don't know about you guys, but there's not one thing that he said that I'm not super stoked about.
I'm not stoked for this.
I haven't heard
Really? Are you kidding me? This is my favorite thing. The
I like
Authority-
it, but why I don't like it is I don't see why he would come out with a Justice League anagram team without having a Justice League. It seems like you're putting this cart before that horse. Like, I don't know. It just seems like an odd choice. I felt like he was like gun to his head. You got to pick a Wildstorm property. Do you want Wildcats?
One,
Nah, I
two,
don't want the X-Men knockoff. I'll take the Justice League knockoff. Like, I don't know. I'm just
Well, I mean, how much-
disagree. I think that part of it was probably the fact that the two of the main characters are gay. I think that's definitely was part of it. You know, that was a little added extra. But I think that James Gunn is one of those guys that loves the diamonds in the rough, right? He loves the he went with the stuff that is people really love, that are real comics fans that had to have read the series or read the book, Damian, Stormwatch, or I mean Authority, Swamp Thing. Like those are all books that people that read comics flocked to because the stories were so damn good. The characters were so thought out and planned out, or it didn't feel forced, especially with the whole gay stuff. I think that's another reason, because I don't think they want it to look forced. And I don't know,
But
man.
I worry about the forced look. I worry that people are going to think, "Hey, this feels like The Boys," or I'm just going for the masses, not for the comic people. Comic people, that audience is different than what they're going to be putting this out in the movies, in the theaters. That's going to be the general public. And the general public's going to see a team that kind of looks like the Justice League, reminds them of that Amazon Prime show, The Boys, and thinks, "I feel like I've seen this before," even though it has nothing to. I'm not saying they're the same thing. I'm just saying that's how general audiences might take it, which is why I don't know if this was the best choice for him to start with. That's just my gut. That's just my gut feeling.
I'm looking forward to it. I love the
He was
fact
doing
that. Yeah, I
He's
love the
did a
fact
bunch
that.
of different things. But did he say he was
little-
starting off with these, or that was one of the first properties he was going to start off with, or he's just saying this is something he has interest in doing?
No, this is coming.
No, it's not. It's definitely not the first.
Yeah.
Because the first that he had after this initial run was the Commandos cartoon. So
Yeah,
that was
it's-
going to be the first.
Yeah, it's like
thing.
Commandos cartoon, and then we get the things that they already have in the play. His first, I think, is Superman. And
Yeah.
then, like, this is a little bit maybe closer to 25, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty recent. That's pretty quick.
All right, how much is this selling for again? You said
What'd I say? 50 to 60.
Yeah, crazy.
raw. That's
Raw.
crazy.
Oh,
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, next, number 8 on the list, Booster Gold #1. This is the one that I'm least not excited for, but I have the least amount of hope for, because I don't know how you make Booster Gold as cool as it is without Ted Kord Blue Beetle.
I mean, if he plays it more like, because my guess is he's probably thinking of this more like, like Deadpool type thing, where it's
Quantum
going to
Leap
be,
shit.
where it's going to be like, I'm, he's going to be breaking the fourth wall, and he's going to be, look at me, I'm cool, and and doing crazy things that just don't make sense. I think that's my thought, is it's going to be that type of a thing.
Yeah.
But I know people have been excited. People have been wanting Booster Gold forever.
Which is weird to
Like,
me.
It
Why do you
is a
have
bit
so many
strange.
Booster Gold fans? Where you guys been?
They're all fans of the animated series, right? Because like there was like a couple of those Booster Gold episodes.
True.
Like
True.
Yeah. That would be my guess.
Yeah. This feels like a character that will be like Vigilante without killing people. Like that's like the vibe and tone that the character will be. A little goofy.
Yeah. So sales on this are pretty. I mean, obviously they're up all over the place, but 9/8 are 700 for this now.
Wow. That's crazy. All right. Next at number 7, speaking of Creature Commandos, we got it on the list multiple times. Creature Commandos number 1, volume 2, I believe, right? This is the second series that they showed up in. Anyways, from 2000, Creature Commandos number 1.
Yeah, I don't know much about. First of all, I don't know much about these characters at all. I definitely don't know about these team firsts and stuff like that. And I guess this is like the newer version. I don't really know. All I know is it basically was not selling for anything, and now this 2000 book is selling for $20. So
I think people are reaching for anything. They've got.
I think
got
they
the
almost have to
title
be, right.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I guess if there are first appearances in this, that's a different story. But yeah, I mean, I would tend to think that these are just living in back issue bins for nothing.
This definitely has to be.
This next one, though, at number 6, is a classic cover that has always been a good one. We talk about it every once in a while. Weird War Tales number 93. Frank Miller got a start on Weird War Tales also. So
is that the one with the skull on or the skeleton on the cover? Is that the Frank?
I believe
Miller
so.
or something
Let
like
me
that?
look. Let me go take a look in my Beyond Wednesdays creator first list.
Yeah, when while you're doing that, so Weird War Tales 93 9/8 we're selling for like 700. Now they're 1100. 90 175 raws are 100 plus on this. Again, this is going to be a cartoon. Now he said this is already like in production, right?
Yeah, this should be coming soon.
Which nobody even knew that it was in production, which is crazy. But yeah, so I would think that this is, I don't know, he didn't give an exact date though, is when, like, probably just after the Flash, right?
Maybe somewhere around there, yeah.
But I mean, DC Animation's been killing it for a long time. Anyways, like you know, they stick true to the storylines and everything. I mean, sometimes they add a little bit more, but it's kind of like, you know, it's obvious, like, oh, we just need to fill out the time. But
yeah, I wonder if it's going to be like the current DC animation, or if they're going to mix it up. Like, you know, like Into the Spider-Verse was completely different than anything else. I just wonder if they're going to do something, you know, if this is going to be like more violent. I'm not sure the current DC animation would make it look right. Like, I think it almost need to be different type of animation to make it look.
I was hoping it's going to look like that teaser image they shared. I was like, I hope that's the vibe. I like that.
Well, looking at
a little bit anime, had like a little bit of an anime kind of flavor to it.
Looking at the face of that dude at the bottom left, man, he is very scared.
But But wouldn't you say like Invincible kind of has like that similar kind of style of animation,
Yeah,
and
a
then
little bit,
just
maybe.
throwing in blood into that wouldn't look too far fetched?
That's possible.
Yeah. Well, I dig Invincible, so
Yeah.
can be done.
Amen. First published artwork at DC by Frank Miller is Weird War Tales number 64. So there you go. All right. How much you say this was selling for?
9/8s are 1,100, 9/0s 175, raws 100 plus.
Tough 9.8, I imagine. Tough 9.8. So
I mean, this is what 80. This is like 80, 81, something like that.
yeah,
So
probably.
Yeah.
so it's not going too far back.
Yeah.
I mean, I would assume that there are some 9/8s.
Where's everybody bitching about the swastika now? All right, next on the list, my second favorite book on the list at number 5, Stormwatch number 4, a tough book to find. Always been a tough book to find. First appearance of Apollo and Midnighter, and I love it that they're on the cover also, and it's a Frank Miller Dark Knight homage.
Yeah, and that all black left side of this
Tough.
thing right there along the spine is just what makes this one so hard to find in high grade. But
Yeah.
Raws are 100 plus on this now, and you could have probably a month ago you could have probably bought them for $20-$30 maybe.
Yeah.
I think it's always been about a $50 book if I remember correctly. No?
It dropped a bunch. It dropped
Wow.
a lot. But it has always kind of been one of those books that people were looking for, because this was what, the second series of Stormwatch or something like that. So even though it was number 4 towards the beginning, but it wasn't a number 1. Yeah, it's just one of those that you just don't see that often.
Do you think DC is going to talk about Warren Ellis much when the Authority starts getting, a lot of eyes on it? Because he kind of went through that whole cancellation thing too, didn't he? A few years back. So it's going to be interesting to see if they bring him up very often. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm curious how they're gonna. I'm curious who he's gonna get to write some of these things, some of these screenplays and stuff. I mean, I know he said he's writing the Superman, right? Is that what he said he was?
Yeah.
Is that the one he said he was writing?
Yeah, he's doing Superman, but then he's going to do Peacemaker season 2. So
yeah, so basically he's going to be tied up. He's not going to be able to do any of these other projects at all. I'm just confused. I'm confused. I'm curious who he's going to get to write some of these things. I mean, I hope he gets people that, and I think he probably will, but I think that's been Marvel's issue with Phase 4 is the people that they brought in to do directing and writing on some of those things. It was not the same quality that they had in the first 3 phases, and I think that's why nobody cared. Nobody wanted to go see it because it was kind of all garbage.
yeah, I think it's just fatigue. I mean, Jesus, it's been 15 years of Marvel. Like, okay, you guys built it to one huge story. You told that story. Now you got to start over. People are going to go, all right, what else is on? Like, it's the nature of things. It's just.
But you could definitely tell the writing was different.
Yeah, I think that's what Marvel was trying. It's like, hey, let's try to do some different stuff. Let's do some horror. Let's do some fourth wall breaking stuff. Let's do Ally McBeal, whatever. Yeah.
I think it did a lot of things in that fourth phase, throughout it was kind of right in the middle of the pandemic and stuff like that. It gave them an out to say, well, this was kind of why we had to deal with this over here. So it kind of messed up this phase 4. Maybe the pandemic was just coincidence that that happened. Because it felt different. That whole phase, whatever, felt different. But I think the new stuff coming out feels more like what they were doing originally before the phase 4. It kind of feels like it feels more tight, if you will, or more focused or something. The other stuff felt real loose. It just felt like they're like just kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what stuck and whatnot.
Let's try this. Let's try that.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. How much you say they're selling for again?
100 plus raw.
There
A
we
lot.
go. All right. This next book, I think, is probably the book that holds the least amount of weight in this whole list, and that is Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, #1.
Bring the other one
You think
back.
this holds the least weight?
Yeah, because I think the story is absolutely terrible. Did
Is
you
it?
read? Do you
I've
know
not-
the
I've not-
story behind this?
No.
It is so dumb. It's Supergirl goes out into space with Crypto to help some alien. It's so convoluted and just doesn't make any sense to me. I obviously didn't read it. Chat, let me know if you guys read it and you liked it. I don't understand the whole thing. I mean, maybe take Supergirl out into space. You know, that was the whole point because of, that they did with Legion and stuff, because, Superman is such a big character. I don't know.
Is this what they're doing though? Like, I know they're using the title, but I don't know the premise of.
Well,
what
that's what I mean.
it
Like,
will
if
be.
if that's what they're doing, this is going to be the one that is going to be the hardest for them to pull off, I think. So,
I
I
mean,
think
yeah,
they're probably
I
just using
mean,
the title.
I think he's. No, I think he said that he was basing it off of this story, right?
I thought I saw that too, but then I saw the Paradise Lost. I'm like, well, maybe just using names like Marvel uses names. They just use the name and we'll do whatever. But yeah, 'cause I didn't read this either, so I don't know. I don't know the guts of this story, but
yeah, I up the down 7. I didn't read it because of the story sounded so goofy that I was like, well, what? I don't want to read this. But if other people have heard good things,
I thought that he said. I was just going to say, I thought that he said that it was based on the title from this.
well, then he's taken Supergirl into space to help some alien along with Artemis and Crypto. So,
yeah, whenever Infinite Frontier started, the only titles I ever anyone mentioning were Swamp Thing. What else was it? Wonder Girl, and then maybe the Harley Quinn, and maybe a little bit of the Batman at the beginning.
The other Batman.
Yeah, but then other than that, like everyone else was like kind of like, I guess, like kind of skipping over everything, right?
Oh, that's right, Lopez. It is Tom King. I think Stein. I think you're right. I think they are doing this because I think it's Tom King's story.
ugh.
Yeah. All I know is, I mean, all of a sudden this is now selling for $30 to $40, which is crazy. And then, like Drew said, the title itself so bad. So what is it, a 8 issue?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The blank variant, it's like a blue blank variant, is probably the rarest of all the books. So be on the lookout for that one.
I would probably be trying to find that issue 7 and 8 of this, because you can probably get those. My guess is the stores are probably going to pull this one, and then they'll probably leave all the other issues, and then find the later issues. And
ooh, I bet you could find the
pick those up
Walmart
for
pack still.
nothing.
I bet you could still find these in
Was there-
of DC stuff. They were doing Walmart.
Did this have a Walmart version of it?
I don't know if it had a Walmart specific version of it, but I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, honestly.
Walmart filler.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I mean, I bet you there's still like stores with like shelves of these, but I mean, you probably have to like look on the side or something like that, because it's probably not the front cover, right?
Yeah, I saw Darth Lopez put a post on IG where he found a grip of these, so they're out there. Yeah, and I agree with Rob. Tom King is absolutely garbage, in my opinion, lately. So, all right.
Yeah.
Next,
Try to read
at
it,
number
but I don't see investing in this as a smart play.
Yeah, exactly.
sense.
Yeah, it's going to hold the least amount of weight, in my opinion. All right, the next book on the list, my third favorite book of the week, and my favorite cover in a long time. Action Comics number 1051, The Warren Lau Power Girl.
And this has nothing to do with James Gunn, but it's
Yeah.
still but it's
This is going to sound crazy and everybody's going to laugh at me, but her face in this is striking, like super strikingly good.
That's not her face.
I know, I get it. But there's something about it, man. Like it's really good, man. Really good.
It's real crisp. It's
Yeah.
that's what you're saying. Like her eyes are really good on that.
It is
Clean.
good, but I still want a remark version where somebody draws a little Kilroy peeking out down below. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, that's what I want.
Go get Adam Hughes to sign it.
I mean, it's ridiculous the way they can draw these girls down there nowadays. It's really, really crazy.
Yeah.
That looks almost like a photo.
She's her first appearance is still one of the most underrated first appearance books out there. You can get a first you can get a first Power Girl for like $50, you know.
Yeah, what is it?
Or less.
Yeah, we talked about that last week, didn't
Yeah.
we, with the Nakayama of this cover, but
which is weird looking. That Nakayama, that head, man. Weird.
Yeah. This one's actually in people's hands now, which is why it wasn't on the list last week. It would have been on the list last week if people had it in hand, but they didn't. So now they do.
Delayed response.
Yeah. $100 plus for the trade dress, $125 for the Virgin, and the foil is $150 to $175.
Wow. I didn't get mine in yet.
I bet the foil looks amazing on that. And the foil looks badass.
Yeah, and it's weird with the Virgin and the foil, it's not as close up, right?
Yeah, it's more of a full body shot.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, good for everybody at the bottom. I did not buy this.
Neither did I.
I just got the trade because that's one is all that's left, and I actually like the trade better than the full body one. So,
all right, you guys. Now for my favorite book on the list.
Your favorite
at number 2, Batman number 655. Love this book, man.
It's a good cover.
Yeah.
First of all,
that cover
that's a Kubert, right?
Just amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then his brother did the variant.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I like this cover better than the variant. I know the variant sells, it's hard to find, but I like this cover better than the variant. But,
well, there is a super rare newsstand out there for anybody looking.
Man, that cover would look so badass foiled.
I don't want them to do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, you gave him the idea. You shouldn't have said anything.
It's gonna happen.
Now it's going to be a con exclusive that's going to keep on showing up and showing
some
up. And it never
retailer or somebody that wants to make a couple bucks is going to go make a foil version of that.
Acetate it.
No, just wait until there's a facsimile of this or something.
Brian, last week I passed up a newsstand of this.
Oh my god, bro! Man. For how much?
It was $50.
Oh man.
I passed it because it was not a 9.8. It was probably it was probably a 9.0. So I passed on it.
Dude,
but I considered it. I got to remember which store it was at. I can't remember if it might have been in Rochester.
Don't say it.
No, it might have been. I can't remember if it was at home or if it was in Rochester.
Oh, you just
it was one of the two because
well, somebody's got to get it.
Trying to mute you as you're talking.
The only problem with the variant is look at the bat symbol, how bad it looks. It's going to ruin that book for a lot of people. That's why I love the regular cover better. Look how bad the bat symbol looks in this. It looks like a kid drew it.
It's like a mirror.
It's on a cloud or something.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the trade dress. Like, why is the trade dress all squished at the top on the variant?
Yeah, it's like in a cloud or something like that. It's supposed to be like kind of rippling.
I thought you were talking about his 6-pack. That's more like a 12-pack.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not a great cover right here. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
this one is.
It feels real.
This one isn't.
Well, he needs to be moved down. Like, we don't need. There's so much empty space on the bottom of the variant. Like, why?
Yeah,
it's for Adam Kubert's giant signature to fit at the bottom. No,
yeah. So everybody's on Damien. Basically, I mean, this is selling for almost the same as 656 now. I mean, 9.8s are 400 plus, 9.6s are 150 plus. I think most people have this book, not necessarily the variant, but I think most people have the regular cover of this, which is concerning, as far as investing wise. If everybody has it, then why would anybody spend $400 on it? So
It's a good question.
I wonder how
Well,
many
this
people are
book-
rushing to send it to grade now.
When Super
bunch.
Sons was being
think-
written, the variant was like a $500 book, right? Back then, the 9/8s were
Mhm.
500 plus. So
Mhm.
good stuff. I love it.
It's all cyclical. Everything comes around again.
Well, it's a good book. I would suggest at this point, though, if you have one, sell it because it's going to come back down. You think it's gonna go up or come back down once we start seeing stuff with Damian?
I mean, I think it's cool that the fact that he's doing. I mean, because you really think about it. I mean, all the Batman movies that have been out there, Robin has really never been any Robin, any of the ones.
Chris
I mean,
O'Donnell ruined it.
yeah, he did totally.
Holy rusted metal Batman.
But I mean, you figure. I mean, why, as popular as Dick Grayson and Nightwing is, why has there never been anything? I mean, never. I mean, it's like it just. I mean, nothing good at all, and then you're just like, why? So the fact that he's even doing any Robin at all is a big deal.
It's Robin and Dick Grayson, right? Because Dick is going to play Batman in it.
Is he? I hope so. That's what I want.
It's based on the Morrison run. I heard, right? Isn't it based on the Morrison run where they're doing?
I thought it was just going to be a different Batman. I mean, not Robert Pattinson, but I thought it was going to be.
Well, Robert
another
Pattinson's
actor.
an Elseworlds guy, so he's over there.
But I didn't know it was going to be Dick Grayson as Batman.
Am I wrong about that? I could be wrong about that, but I thought that was the way it was going to be.
I think it might be a father-son thing. I agree. I'd rather have the Dick Grayson Damian relationship, but I think they're doing a father-son kind of.
Yeah.
Well, I get to
we'll see.
I got to drop off, y'all.
Later, brother.
The little ones, I appreciate y'all. I'll be.
Hey, thanks for jumping on
the tube. Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. I enjoyed the opportunity. Take it easy, guys.
All right.
Later, brother.
See you.
All right, number one this week, you guys. Another Authority book and another wraparound cover. The Authority number one. I love it.
Do you?
I do. I love this. I love the Authority. I've talked about it a lot. I fell in love with the Authority back when the Absolute editions were first coming out. I bought all the Absolute editions, and I love the Ellis Authority run, which is great, but the Miller Authority run is so far superior.
I was going to ask you if you like Miller or the Ellis part.
Yeah, the Miller is so good, but the Authority team is, and I'm a big fan of Authority, man. I love it. I love Midnight and Apollo. I love the team. I love the Wildstorm stuff. I love this cover, this wraparound. It's tough to find. It's not easy to find all the old school Stormwatch and Authority stuff. The Absolute editions are very tough to find. At the time they were short printed, so those were tough to find. Be on the lookout for those. Yeah, man, I really love this series. It's one of my all-time favorites.
I'm with you. I like this team. I like these stories. My problem is I don't think it was a wise choice to start off your movie universe with them as all. I just think
but they're not. But it didn't. It's not going to be a universe though, right? Isn't he going Elseworld style? Like not everything is supposed to be together.
He's there
going
are the
Elseworld style.
But these guys are in the universe now.
The only Elseworlds that he's using is the Batman and the Joker. That's it.
And well, if you want to count Teen Titans, go.
Yeah, but
right.
is everybody is this a together thing? Like I don't think this is a together thing. Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yes. He 100% said it will all be canon. It will all be connected.
That sucks.
Not only that, it's going to be even. This is why I'm concerned. He's talking about it's going to be even more tightly connected than what the early Marvels were. Like, say what you will about how Marvel did it, but Marvel did it in that way. So they gave themselves outs. If things didn't work, they could pivot. If he starts doing things too tightly woven together and it's not working, they're not going to be able to get out of it. after a year or two. That's what I would be too concerned about. Like, not
Yeah, I
everything.
hope
Yeah, and
not.
Marvel did get it,
You're gonna make a mistake.
and Marvel did get out of some of the stuff that they had. Like, things just disappeared,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Yeah.
people just disappeared. Like, what happened? Oh, there was a after credit scene, and that person never showed up again.
Yep. We've got a new roadie.
What happened?
What happened to Rhodey? He's a little shorter.
Well, I think that's different. Changing actors is different, right? Because you have to do that. You're always going to have to change actors, right? People die, characters don't,
Oh,
but
like,
people die.
right. Or they could get into like
but
bad media. Yeah.
yeah, but I agree. Like, I think it's stupid to have a connected universe. I think continuity, even though we all love continuity, and it's that thing that we all wanted in the beginning, I think that over the years, I've come to realize it ruins a lot of stuff. And the way to tell the best stories is to tell it Elseworld style, right? That's how you tell the best stories. You don't have to be in a connected universe. You just say, this is the
I think you
character.
can have both. And I think they're trying to do both. And I applaud them for trying to do both. Keep the Batman going, keep the Joker going, even though I'm not a big fan of the Joker. Keep it going, Elseworlds. But I do think they want to try that connected, because they want to start getting into the business of, well, people are going to see every one of these because they're connected. They feel they have to, like people have with Marvel.
Yeah, I mean, you figure that DC has kind of done the non-connected thing, and everybody hated it because you couldn't tell what was going on. You didn't know, like, it just seemed everything seemed off just because they weren't connected. I prefer all of them to be connected, even if they're not necessarily like, super blatant about it. I think you can still have it connected, but not have it.
Yeah, you don't have to force everything.
Yeah, like there's like
right,
Batman doesn't need to be in the Authority movie, but
Yeah.
he can be like a kind of in the background,
Like a news
or something.
headline. Like,
Yeah, you
like
can
a news
mention 'em.
headline or something
Right,
like that,
right.
or like some sort of event that happened in that movie. Oh, that
Right.
event that happens in this movie, or whatever. But
Or
I mean, like,
or Batman calls Midnighter and says, "Well, you're stealing my costume," or something. What are you doing? Something like that. I mean, you can easily do that.
What is this selling at right now?
It's stupid.
Really?
$70 raw. CGC 98 is $500.
Wow. I got a whole run of this just sitting there. And I was going through books a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, I'm never going to be able to get rid of this Authority stuff. Well, things change quickly.
It changed, I mean, instantaneously. Like, as soon as he said it, I was like, well, that came out of nowhere. Like, that was not expecting that at all. I'm not sure anybody was.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I mean, we were
I'm loving
thinking,
it.
gotta shake up the hobby.
we were
right?
thinking,
Wake
I mean,
up.
Yeah.
yeah, and it has. I mean, it definitely has. I mean, I think we kind of were thinking, okay, he's going to use some of these, lesser things. I was thinking Static for sure.
Wow.
Chad.
Shout out to Chad Cave, man. $50 super chat. That's what I'm talking about. Chad Cave. By the way, you guys, Chad Cave sent me a message the other day, and he goes, have you ever seen these baby cards? They look like little babies. And he's got in his hand the 1980 Topps basketball cards, and they're all torn apart, right? He tore them all apart when he was a kid, and he's got both birds in his hand, and I'm going, bro, those are Larry Bird rookies. And he goes, oh, these are weird, they're like little baby cards. I go, bro, look up what a Larry Bird Magic rookie goes if you didn't pull them apart. And I go, no, you know what? Don't look him up, because you're gonna be pissed.
Don't even do it.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, why do you always got to ruin my day?
Hey, but you can still. Hey, he can still grade the minis. They'll
Yes,
still sell.
He can.
yeah.
He can. Yeah. We love you, Chad. We love you, brother. We love you, man. So it was cool. I love stuff like that. By the way, you guys, that's what I'm talking about, community style. Make sure you guys check out everybody's content. Check out all our IGs. You can find all the information below. Stop by tomorrow night for Modern Comic Mayhem. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we'll see how it plays out. This is the list for February 3rd, 2023, and it was a good one this week, and we can thank James Gunn for 99% of it. So
Yeah, not if you're a Marvel fan, it wasn't.
I know. Did you see some of the comments? People are like, "There's too much DC. I'm getting out of here." Hey, and I will say, it's what's really funny is because I grew up on DC. I was not really into Marvel other than Spider-Man. Like no Marvel at all. I did not like I did not like Iron Man. Didn't like any of that stuff. And I mean, basically, I kind of gave up on DC just because they just knocked themselves down every time. They couldn't get their stuff. They just couldn't get themselves straight. But the Marvel people have basically kind of just lived in this utopia for like 15 years.
Look at our movies.
Yeah, like we're so much better, and now that they're all of a sudden just for 1 week and they can't take it, it's kind of weird. But
Yeah. I mean, what I say before the show started, you're like, "Oh, it's going to be mainly DC this week." I'm like, "Okay, I'll see y'all later."
Yeah, he was like, "I'm out."
I mean, I do collect DC. Don't get me wrong, but I don't speculate on it.
It was kind of hard.
Nobody has.
But,
Yeah, nobody has.
I mean, I'm sure there was a handful of people that they're like, "Oh, this stuff isn't down, blah blah blah." But I mean, who was honestly predicting a lot of these books, right?
No,
fair enough.
Yeah. Unless you're in James Gunn's inner circle, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, all right, you guys, good show. Appreciate everybody coming in, helping us out. Shout out to Richie. Good luck on your test, brother. And we'll see you next week. Much love to everybody out there. Make sure you leave a thumbs up. You're subbed up if you're not subbed up, and check out all the great content from all these guys. We'll see you next time. Adios.
See you.